So today I'm going to show you guys how to install this Class 3 hitch by Curt on a 2015 Chevy Silverado. If you guys go mudding like I did the day before, you want to go underneath and hose down pretty much all the dirt and grime and shit that's going to be underneath. As you can see, mine's caked. Well, it was caked, but underneath where your original light duty tow bar is going to be. I already washed all that shit off, so that's one thing you want to do is clean all that shit off before you reinstall your new hitch and basically lock in like dirt and grime and shit. So be sure to hose it off if you guys just went in the dirt or go mudding or whatever. So alright, so the first things first is you got to remove these two bolts. I think that's pretty much it. I might need to move these bolts right here, but I don't. Yeah, I probably need to remove that bolt too. So those two bolts right there, and then this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those and see what we get. Okay, now that we have the spare tire out of the way, we have tons more working room. I highly recommend that you remove the spare tire just to have working space. Makes a world of difference. So these right here, these are both gonna be 21mm bolts. I don't have a deep socket for 21mm to fit this, so I had to use a 13/16 open wrench on this bolt right here, and then this right here is going to be a 10mm wrench. You're going to need a breaker bar for this one. This one just takes brunt force, so you're going to have to get that one off by yourself unless you have a breaker bar and a deep socket. There's also a bolt up here that's a 21mm, but it doesn't leave much space for a breaker bar, so you're pretty much left to a deep socket or a wrench. You can get off with a wrench though. There's two bolts right here that hold it onto like the license plate frame. I don't know what size these are. I haven't got to these yet. And then around the side, which are going to be right here, these are going to be, what size are these? Yeah, these are going to be 18mm bolts. So you're going to have to get these 18mm bolts off. And then once you get these two, those two on the side, and then these two, this thing's going to come down. So you either want a helping hand and or a jack, because the law of gravity is once you get those bolts out, this is coming down. So pro tip to save your face, just get a jack or a helping hand to keep this from rearranging your face. Alright, so here's a little pro tip, bro tip. These were the 13mm bolts that were up on the side that were like up to the far left and right. They actually have a bracket, so it keeps it from falling on your face. So once you take these bolts out, this bracket's still going to stay in there, and then you're still going to need somebody to help or jacks. I recommend you have somebody help, because it's always nice to have somebody just in case you do smash your face, you have somebody take you to the hospital or give you a tissue. But pretty much this bracket right here stays in there, so once you pull this out, then it falls down. So once you remove these nuts, Chevy had the great idea for us users to make this a bracket, so it stays in there once you take the bolts off, and then it comes out when you pop both sides out. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Chevy. Alright, so now I ended up getting installed. I don't think I need to show you guys how to do and undo bolts. Hardest part is getting this in. We started by getting these threaded because the frame actually has threading. So you get this up, get this in there, just get some threading and let it hang so you can get these two in. All these need to be torqued down to 110 foot-pounds. Just be warned with the 2015, and I think a good amount of Silverados, as you can see from my hand, it's like fucking tar. The the finish on the frame is just shit. So when you tighten these down, it's just gonna fucking flake off and just get all over you, just like tar. The finish is garbage on these trucks. If you guys can see, the plates go on top. Both plates face to the back, so the back plate faces that way, and then the front plate faces that way. And then this screw up here just has no nut or plate. It just goes straight into the frame, which has threads, and then you have a crush washer. Crush washer curves forward, so the bowl, if you can see, the bowl side goes up, and then you crush it onto there. And then, like I said, these have the plate on top with the nut on the bottom. So that's how it's gonna have to be. 110, 110, and then 110 torque down. You have to hold the plates when you crush these down, because again the finish is just shit, and it's just gonna crush the wax coating off, and then the plate's gonna move. So you need to hold the plate when you get these put in, and again you gotta do it on both sides. So you have these three, and you don't have any on the side anymore, so you just have these three are the main bolts, and then that's what it's gonna look like. This one sits a little bit lower than I wanted, but it's not too bad. It's a class 3 Curt hitch. It's got a little tiny space. I know some that are a little bit higher, a little bit more flush, but this isn't bad. So that's how you install a Curt class 3 hitch, and then get rid of the light duty hitch that comes with your 2015 Silverado.